Good morning, everyone. Nice to see you again. I'm Paul B. You all know MJ.
Hi, everybody.
We're going to continue last week's conversation about the political climate, the market, and how we should be reacting to it as consumers and as business people. So, MJ, why don't you start it?
Yeah, I talked to a lady the other day, and telling you, she says, I'm not sleeping at night. I'm not eating. I just worry constantly what's going to happen to everything. You can't run around like your hair's on fire. You've got to calm down, look at what we got. And I know it's disturbing to a lot of people, but there's other people who think this is a great thing that's going on. This has been long overdue. Mm-hmm. So it really boils down to who's right. And the people that think this is great what Trump is doing, they got to believe they got to think they're doing well. But the people that don't agree with what he's doing, mm-hmm. My problem with the whole thing isn't what he's doing, it's how he's doing it. And I think that's what's causing all the angst, the back and forth, the up and down with the tariffs, and the other thing is, I got to tell you, I don't think I haven't talked to one person through emails or anything that think Elon Musk is the right guy to put in that position. I don't know how you feel about it, Paul.
I think that's a debate that every person in this country could have.
Yeah, and I think it'd be a short debate. I saw a Republican on a talk show the other day, and she said, I like everything, but I can't stand him.
Yeah.
So I think he has far worn out his welcome, mm-hmm. and it would behoove everybody to kick him to the curb. But, mm-hmm. I'm not making those decisions. So, and as far as starting a business right now, don't panic. Right. Don't panic. You may be worried about your job, your 401k, mm-hmm. there's savings. Mm-hmm. What am I going to do? I have a mortgage payment. I have kids. It's really easy, extremely easy to panic and make a mistake. Right. So again, sit down, relax, it to the best that you can. And I think you feel the same way on your side, especially when it comes to golf. Like I'm playing golf tomorrow, and you try not to, we really avoid this foursome because they're not on the same page. Mm-hmm. We don't talk about politics.
Right.
If we do, it's a laughing thing, Right. We can't take it serious on the golf course because that's not what we're there for. Golf courses are not for solving political issues.
Right. No, that's true. My take on this whole thing is patience. I agree. Right now, Trump's people are trying to do something different. They seem to feel that the only way they can do this is, do it fast, do it quick, do it now, kind of thing. And then down the road, see how people react. Like I look at the tariffs and I say, okay, I never really studied tariffs. I really don't know. But obviously I can see how it can be one-sided with the US and somebody else. But the reality is that the more you start tariffing another country, they're going to tariff you back. And then it becomes a tit for tat war. And then until somebody gives. But who suffers? The business guy. He suffers because he's the one who's got to get these products and these services into his business so that he can fork it out. I heard one of the Commerce secretaries say that the tariffs, they believe the Chinese in particular are going to eat it because they don't want to lose their business with the United States. Right. But I disagree with that. I don't think the Chinese are going to eat it. I think the Chinese are going to say, listen, this is what it costs. I can't help you.
And unfortunately, I did the same thing. I had a contract. I won a contract to sell the Army, of all stupid things, push pins.
Oh, okay.
All right. It sounds stupid, but yeah. And I found out that nobody in the U.S. made push pins. And I also found out that was a product that China was blocked on sending to the U.S. So what did I do? I found a man up in Canada, mm-hmm. who had a contact in Israel, who ordered the push pins from China, had them shipped to Canada, And because they were shipped down from Canada, it was okay to bring the push pins into the country.
Oh.
I also know that a lot of the stuff the parts we bring in from Mexico that are being assembled, the Chinese, instead of sending it to the U.S. where there's a tariff, they send it to Mexico. Mexico puts the parts together, and then they send it to the U.S.
And then the tariff gets paid.
Yeah, so this was before the tariffs. But the point is, that's how Chinese were getting around it.
Right.
It's if there's a way around it, they're gonna. My grandfather told me, and I firmly believe this: locks are made for honest people. If there's a way to get around something, they're going to figure it out.
Right.
And the Chinese have got a few people that are pretty smart, and that's what they ended up doing. Yeah. Hey, Mexico did great with it. They were buying Chinese parts that they needed for the American, press that they're sending to the U.S. And the U.S. looked the other way because they needed the parts cheap, and they got them that way.
Right.
So it's just crazy. It's just absolutely crazy. There's no way you're going to stop it this way.
Right.
So,
right. Well, yeah. So now let's take that into how people should be living their lives and reacting for a minute. People do knee-jerk reactions a lot in a lot of different parts of their lives. Patience is something Americans are not very good at. But the people who are successful, patience is something they're good at. And I look at the average person. I mean, look, if you're on Social Security, you're looking at it as, well, I can't go out and make any more money in Social Security. I have to get another job. But if I get a job, there's no guarantees of anything except me working harder and maybe not really coming away with too much because the tax laws could change at the same time. I think people are going to find that especially if they pay attention. And to me, the most important thing is you got to keep listening. You got to understand what's going on around you. You can't sit in your house and just say, oh, well, doesn't matter. I can't do anything. They're politicians. In this country, we elect the politicians. And if you put enough pressure on them, you can start to understand how they think and where they're going. So I think people just need to kind of relax, keep living your life. Things are going to unwind however they're going to unwind. And I don't want to make that sound, any hippie context. But they're going.
No, I think I think in the past you were probably one of those hippie guys. I can tell. I can tell. Come on. It's just the way it is. I know. I can see a hippie a mile away.
Okay.
Tell me you didn't have bell-bottom pants.
I only wore them for a little bit.
All right.
In high school.
In high school, you had bell-bottom pants.
I was a sweats guy. I always liked wearing sweats. But I've always believed in the philosophies that you gotta let life come to you and you handle it the way you want to handle it. You don't let life guide you or disturb you. Life is life. It is what it is. It doesn't matter who's in charge, who's doing what country you live in. Life is life, and it's going to hit you. It's how you react to life.
And that's how you make the changes that affect your life that make the difference.
Yeah.
You can't look at it the broad way. Now, on the lighter side, what's the name of your book again? By the way, as I'm taking it on the golf course tomorrow.
Oh, you are?
I think so because I can't. I rode a lot of good walks playing golf. And so where can we get this golf book of yours? And what's the name of it?
The book is called Let Me See What Happens If I... And the reason I titled it that way is because it avoids what I was just talking about, the knee-jerk reaction. What you do is you allow yourself to learn on the course. So if you have the proper mental preparation, proper concentration, proper course strategy, you're going to make mistakes, but you're going to be able to learn from those mistakes and you'll be able to let them go before you hit the next shot. And those are two very important parts of the mental game. So the book goes through how to handle certain of those features, how to stay within yourself and play your own game and not get affected by the outside influences as much, which, like wind, bad lies, a missed putt from 3 feet that was a dead straight putt and all of a sudden 3 inches from the hole, it goes that way. Relax,
I watched an interesting one that said, when you play golf, just regular golf, what are you doing? If it's in a divot, you're just playing regular golf. You're not move the ball.
Yeah, you're not getting paid.
move the ball.
Right,
If it's in a bad location, move the ball.
Right,
You're out there to play golf. You're not there to earn a living.
Right.
Why put the added stress on you? It's not supposed to be stressful. It's supposed to be enjoyable.
Right. Well, see, the issue with golf is about the only game where you penalize yourself. You're in charge of enforcing the rules on you. Now, yeah, obviously, if you see your opponent, if you're playing, you can't move your ball, play it as it lies, and you see your opponent roll his ball because he wants a better. Well, why? We didn't say that was okay at the beginning of the round, because I think that's where people get the misnomer, is they think that the rules of golf have to be applied every single moment that you're on. But
that's not true.
But at the tee box, the foursome can decide, hey, listen, roll the ball. Just
move it.
6 inches in any direction so that you have a better.
For one thing, it'll pick up pace of play.
Oh God, half hour round.
Yeah, don't move it out of there. You're not, the tree's in the way. What are you, crazy? You're not. Yeah, I say it all the time.
Yeah.
If you're playing for money, I understand it.
Right,
but I mean,
but even if you're playing for money, if you're playing by the same rules,
everybody's got the same rules.
Then it doesn't matter. Like in the case of rolling a ball, if you're in the rough by an inch, well, you can't roll it into the fairway. That's kind of breaking the unwritten rule. You're still in the rough, but you can, if you're in a small divot or a tuft of grass and it's middle of winter, move it back 6 inches.
That's all.
Who cares?
Who cares?
You're still in the rough, but give yourself a better why. Because we're not professionals. We're not going to get to that level. And we're especially not going to get to that level if we think that by not practicing it at a practice range, that we're going to be able to just magically walk up to it on a fairway and be able to handle it like it's nothing.
I think I said this before. The pros, before they go out, they'll go hit 100 balls.
Yeah.
We go up to the first tee and we swing at that ball. And if it goes in the water, goes someplace, we say, oh, that's your breakfast ball.
Yeah.
Or that's your mulligan.
Right.
I don't care what you call this, cheating, but that's not the point.
Cheating, right.
Hey, I think I'm the first one, at least that's what I was told when everybody screamed, that I invented the first one, a mid-hole mulligan.
A mid-hole?
Mid-hole. And I tell you, it's a beautiful thing, and I keep it in my pocket all the time because, you miss something and, it goes, you yank it, goes into a trap or something like that. I'm hitting another one, mid-hole mulligan.
Mid-hole mulligan.
Cheating is cheating, okay? And I know that. So what?
Right. But I'm saying it this way. There are local rules. At every course you go to, if you read the back of your scorecard, there's local rules. And it tells you any rule abnormality that they say this is what you do. Like golf ready, right? Golf ready means that even if you're closer than the other person, if you're ready and the other person's not, play.
That's right.
Play ready golf.
Ready golf. Ready golf came about 40 years ago. It started.
Right. And you'll see it. It's now starting to show up on the back of scorecards. Play ready golf. Because they know that speeds up play by 10, 15% or something like that. 15% is a long time. When you're on a golf course for 4.5 or 5 hours and it goes down to 4, that's a long time.
Yep.
And all it requires is if I'm standing here and I look over and, I'm 80 yards out, you're 100 yards out, but you're still getting your club and I'm standing at my ball. Hit. Take your shot.
The only thing is you got to notice two things. When they're in a crowded golf course and all of a sudden there's 2 holes ahead of you open, either pick up the play or let them go through.
Yeah.
But even if you let them go through, you still pick up the play.
Yeah, you have to pick up pace because the pace of play is always determined by the group in front of you.
Yeah. I've been on holes where I see we're slowing up and I'll get close to the green and everything else, but I know we're slow and I'm not.
Yeah.
Par's out of the question. I'll just pick it up. Okay, let's go to the next hole.
Yeah. If I'm on in 4 on a par 5 and I'm 30 feet away, I try and put it in. If I don't put it in, pick it up and I go.
Pick it up.
Because I'm obviously, unless I'm playing a match, even if you and I are playing bingo, bango, bongo, it doesn't matter. You're still playing for something. But on the other hand, if we make it a foursome rule, hey, listen, we're starting to play a little slow. 2-putt, second putt pickup. Then it's okay because you're playing by the foursome rules.
Well, we're going to be playing now, and I don't know why the leagues don't do it at this time of year. because the greens are going to be awful and they're going to be bumpy.
Yes.
And to speed up play, I think there should be a 2-putt rule in the greens, but they don't do that. And you got these guys up there 3-4 putting, and they get mad. Well, the greens aren't greens right now; they're a mess. But I can't get anybody to agree to that. The 2-putt rule is probably the right thing to do, especially when they're aerating. Come on, what are we doing here? Am I wrong?
No. No, during aeration, they should actually make it a rule that it's, 2-putt. Pick up the second putt and go.
And if you're a non-golfer, aeration means they go ahead and put holes all over the grass.
Right. Aeration is they have to pull plugs out so that the root system can get stronger, which makes the greens especially, because they'll do it to the tees sometimes. But the greens need to have those plugs pulled out so that the...
By the way, that's good to do for your lawn at home too,
Oh, absolutely. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. People don't realize, there's a science to making space for things to grow.
Absolutely.
Which, by the way, is a life lesson that people don't understand either. That if you give yourself space, you give yourself a chance. I know you think I'm getting all philosophical and hippie, whatever.
No. You're not. You're really not.
Right? But if you give yourself that space to grow, you start allowing yourselves to make mistakes. You start to see the broader picture. Which is kind of like, when I talk to people about putting, if they've got anything over 20 feet, a professional has less than 10% chance of making. So what's your chance? If they're 1 out of 10, what's your chance?
Yeah, no.
Just get it within a 1-foot circle.
That's all you want.
2-foot circle, whatever it happens to be around the flag. And if you do that, you create this broader picture of what you're trying to do. Your muscles relax. You're not as tense and fidgety, I got to get, no, just lay it up there and then tap it in, or take the 2-putt and move.
Move on.
Yeah.
Move on.
But that's how I think if people started living their lives, and this kind of goes back to the tariffy thing and how the government's working to do whatever it's doing.
So anyway, when it comes to business, I think you got to be really serious. If you are going to be let go, or you don't feel comfortable in your job, or you don't see where there's any way forward for you, or you're not appreciated, or you're not making enough, 2 things. I mean, never just quit your job if you're looking for another job. Find that it's always easier to get a new job if you're still working at an old job. Right. That's just a fact. Right. Because people say, well, you've been unemployed. How come? What's going on? That doesn't create that. You can always tell them why you want to leave the firm. Maybe it's money, maybe it's management style. It could be number of things. Yeah, so you never leave it. Now, if that's not really what you want to do, and you and your spouse take it a hard look and say, something, I think we should buy a small motel in the resort area and run it. And she says, that sounds like a reasonable, let's do it. All right. Then it's a group decision. Right. So it's also a group failure, but that's okay because you did it together. Right.
Well, come on. How many billionaires say, "Oh, I've filed for bankruptcy. I've gone bankrupt 5 times."
Subway went bankrupt twice before he made it, and I don't quite understand if he's making it now, but supposedly they are. So
that's what it is.
What do I know? Yeah, not just said that. Quiznos. Remember Quiznos? That was the big.
I remember Quiznos.
Do you see them? Are they still around?
Not well.
If anybody knows they're still around, let's send us a text, will you?
Yeah.
Because I haven't seen, and I thought they were pretty good, but I haven't seen them in a long time.
Yeah, Quiznos they had a decent hero.
Yeah, they did.
Yeah.
Your financial position, your strategy on a golf course, because they're both about the same.
Yeah.
And we'll see where that takes us. Usually we have a tendency to wander. Talking to us is like trying to herd cats sometimes.
Absolutely.
It doesn't always, yeah. Yes, and by the way, let's turn that around. Yes, the cat's right across from me. So, I mean, you can't keep him on target. I mean,
that's not true.
It is true. I have to bribe him with lunch or something, and then he stays on target. Otherwise than that, it's just chaos. And I don't think people appreciate that. What I have to go through with you.
Well, no, they may not appreciate it, but hopefully they appreciate what we're telling them. That would be nice.
We're very good friends, so we both tolerate both of our idiosyncrasies.
Well, yeah, idiosyncrasies. Yeah, that's a nice way of putting it. Well, you know what? Maybe the people watching have friends like me.
Everybody has a friend like you.
And they like talking to them, and then sometimes they wish they would just.
No, I guess, but I never felt that way when I talked with you. I never felt that way. Maybe I should have. I don't know.
I don't know.
Anyway, that's enough of this for today. Anyway, thanks for. Okay. I hope you got something out of it. And if you didn't, at least it took you a half hour or so that you didn't have to worry about your other problems.
Yeah, and again, send a comment. If there was something that we started to cover that you want more detail, or if there's something that maybe you'd like to see us cover because you just want another opinion about something that's going on in your life. And for sure, if you've got a problem in your golf game, absolutely. There isn't anything I can't solve for you.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's the truth. That's the truth.
That's not true, because there isn't a person on the planet that can solve every one of your golf problems, because most of your problems are here.
You tell me every spring, are you really going to try this again?
Yeah.
Every spring you tell me that. And I said, yes, I'm going to try it one more season. So we'll see what happens this year.
Einstein was a genius for a reason. That's why he said it.
Yep. Bye, everybody.
Bye.